Hi guys. 8th period, I apologize again that I can't be there today. I have a dentist appointment. Here are our notes for today. We're going to be converting an explicit formula to function notation. So remember how we graphed yesterday? We graphed our sequences and we noticed that arithmetic sequences were linear and geometric sequences were exponential. Well, there has to be a way to write an mx plus b for the linear ones and for exponential an a times b to the x power, except we're going to use the letter n because we're in sequence notation and that uses n instead of x. Okay, so if you have an explicit equation given to you, okay, or you write one from a sequence, the first thing you're going to do is distribute. Let me blow this up a little bit more. Okay, so 3 plus 5n minus 5. Check. Then we're going to combine like terms, combine our constants. So 3 and minus 5 would be constants. Also, because we want mx plus b form, I'm actually going to write the 5n first. And then 3 take away 5 would be negative 2. Okay? And then instead of writing a sub n, I'm going to switch my notation over to f of n. Then we're going to open the calculator. We're going to go to y equals, and we're going to put that into our calculator. F 5x minus 2. Then go to your table. Now, your homework is specifically saying, let me pull this out for a second so I can close that down. Your homework is going to specifically tell you that it wants you to graph the values from 1 to 10. That's because in sequences, technically, there's no 0th term. Okay, either a term exists, which means it's the first term. Okay, before the first term, there's just nothing. Okay, so we're starting at 1. We're going to basically ignore the 0 row. Okay, and we're going to graph the rest of the terms. So on our squares, we're going to start at 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, I have to start at the origin with 0, but I'm only going to graph from 1 on. Now, on the y-axis, this represents term number. On the y-axis, okay, that's going to represent the number in the sequence. I see that I have to go up to 48. So probably numbering this by 5s is going to help. So we can go 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45. Yep, 50. We make it to 50. And then I'll just start graphing. 1, 3, 2, 8, 3, 13, 4, 18, and so on, and so on, till we get to the end. Okay, reminder, don't connect the dots. That's a hard habit to break, but don't connect the dots, because number sequences are discrete. The values in between 5 and 10, or excuse me, 3 and 8, the values in between 3 and 8 don't count as part of the sequence, so we do not connect the dots. Okay, I want to show you a homework one, so hold on a second here, let me pull that up. Okay guys, so here's number 2 on the homework. distribute. Put the 15n first. Negative 50 minus 15 is a negative 65. And switch your notation to f of n. Okay, that's fine, right? Let's go to your calculator for a second. Go to your y equals. Clear it. Okay. 15x minus 65. Second table. Oh, it won't let me do it. Okay. Because I'm not an active inspire technically. Okay, well the issue I'm trying to get you to see is that some of these values are positive and some of these values are negative. And that's a problem for graphing because, well, it's not a problem, it's probably something you encountered yesterday that maybe you weren't sure what to do with. So it just means that when I make my y-axis, I'm going to make a y-axis that x-axis is going to stay the same. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Whoa, my mouse moved. My x-axis is not going to run necessarily across the bottom. I'm going to erase all that, sorry. Okay, my x-axis are going to have these numbers, but they're going to run across the middle. Because I need my graph to go from negative 65, I need negatives and positives on there. Okay, so I might split this in half. And my lowest value is negative 65, my highest value is 85. So I might go negative 20, negative 40, negative 60, negative 80, negative 100, 0, positive 20, 40, 60, 80, 100. So I might need to move my x-axis to the middle so that my y-axis has positives and negatives to it. So 0, negative, we're not doing the 0 term. Remember, we're not doing the 0 term. We're starting at term 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, so 1 and negative 50. 2 and negative 35. 3 and negative 20. 4 and negative 5. 5 and positive 10. 6 and 25. 7 and 40. 8 and 55. 9 and 70. 10 and 85. Again, don't connect the dots. Okay, so the main point of me showing you that was just that when you see your table of values, if you find that you have some negatives and some positives, it just means you're going to have to split your axes and put your x-axis in the middle. So now I want you to take about, 5 to 10 minutes and work on 1 through 6 on the homework. After about 5 to 10 minutes, this is up to your sub's discretion. If you're working well, work maybe a little longer. If you're not working well, maybe not work. But at least 5 to 10 minutes, get a couple done out of the 1 through 6. I don't expect you to finish 1 through 6, but if everybody got, let's see, 1's done for you, I just did 2. If everybody got like 3 and 4 done, that would be great, and we'll move on to the next. Okay, the next section of this is geometric sequences. All right, these become exponential equations. So this is totally different. This is not anything you've ever done before. So I need you to really listen and pay attention well. And I'm going to blow this up a little bit. Okay, the first thing it tells you to do right off the bat is something unusual. Separate the power, okay, this is the power, into two bases with exponents. Here's what that means. 2 comes down, times 3 to the n power times 3 to the negative 1 power. I want you to look at that and soak it in for a couple seconds. So I took the 3, I separated the base of 3 into 2 separate bases, one with an exponent of n and one with an exponent of negative 1. Okay, this is going to happen every time. It's just that the base is going to be different. Okay, now the next part is you're going to multiply your g sub 1, which is 2, and that r value, r to the negative 1 power. Okay, so you get out your calculator. And you're going to multiply 2 times 3 caret negative 1. Okay, it's a decimal. You can leave it like that, but don't forget you can also take, go to the math button, convert to a fraction. Oh, and you can't see it. And it's 2/3. Okay? So you can write 2.6 repeating if you want, but I'm going to write 2/3 and then just bring down times 3 to the n power and switch this to f of n. Okay, I know that blows your mind a little bit, but it's just calculator work. Multiplying this times this. If you do get a decimal, again, I would urge you to go to hit the math key underneath the alpha key. The first thing is it converts something to a fraction for you and put it in fraction form. Okay, graphing. Y equals, clear out the old one. All right, we got a fraction here. Alpha y equals, to make our fraction, 2 over 3, arrow out of the fraction, times 3 caret x. Okay, that's how you put that into the fraction, or into the y equals. And again, we're going to go to the table. Let me pull this out. Let's put it up here. Remember, we're ignoring the top row because that's 0. And in sequences, we start with 1. Oh, we don't have the 9th and 10th terms. I'm going to have to scroll for those. I'd like to be able to see those all on the same screen. Here we go. Let's pull this one out instead. Okay, there we go. That's better. Okay, we don't have any negatives in this, so that's good. All right, so 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And our 10th term is 39,366. So we're going to have to take a moment to think about how we want to count out the y-axis. Now I know I have 10 squares, and if we round that to about 40,000, I could make each square worth 4,000, and that would work. Okay. Now remember, graphing these guys is annoying in the beginning, because if this box goes from 1 to 4,000 and we're supposed to graph 2, it's like right on the line. Right on the line. In fact, these are going to be pretty much right on the line until we get to the 7th one almost. Okay, even 486 is only slightly above the 6th line. Okay, so 7 says 1,458. Well, that's about, I don't know, a third of the way up. And then 4,374, or finally above there. 9 is 13,000, so let's see, here's 12,000, 13,000, well, you know, right about there, sure. And then the 10th one is almost to the 40,000 height. Again, do not connect. Let's look at the homework for a second. And I specifically want to go to problem 8 on the homework. Oh, just passed it. There it is. Okay. So in problem 8, all right, keep -3, but now we're going to split the base of +3 up and make 2 of that +3. One of them is going to get the n exponent, one of them is going to get the -1 exponent. The -3 and 3 to the -1 power, multiply those together. -3 times 3 caret -1. I can't see it. All right, -1. And then bring down 3 to the n power. And put f of n out in front. We're changing to function notation. Then go to your y equals and type in. We'll clear out what was there. -1 times 3 caret x. Second table. Wah wah, it happened again. Okay? No, it didn't. No, it did not. Never mind. Okay, this one I'm doing because, that's right. This one I am doing because all of the values are negative. I only need negative y values. So the x-axis is now going to go across the top. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Gotta move you out of the way. 7, 8, 9, 10. Because the y values I need are all negative. I need to start at 0. What's my highest y value is -59,000. Remember, we're going this far. We're going from 1 to -59,049. So again, this is about 60,000. Okay, I'm going to say it's okay to count by 6,000s. That's not too bad. Count by -6,000s. and start graphing. This time, those annoying values in the beginning that are so tiny, they're going to be really just under the y-axis. You know what, I'm so annoyed by this, I think I'm going to work from the ending and go backwards. $10 and negative 59,000. 9 and negative almost 20,000. 8 and negative 6,500. 7 and 2,187. Okay. Okay, so you're going to have to play with your x-axis depending on what your y values are. If you have some positives and some negatives, you're going to put your x-axis in the middle of the graph. If you have all negative values, then you're looking at only putting the x-axis at the top because that's where everything is going to happen in your graph. Okay, so play around with where you put that axis. All right, so now you have the rest of the period to work on this entire homework assignment. I will be back tomorrow, and I have no plans to be out again for a while. Well, I guess it depends on how the dentist goes, but see you later. Have a good day. Thank you.